And,
it's like watching your parents trying to do the same task. That's exactly what it is. Like they're both just critiquing the crap out of each other and wanting to do things their way and being so stubborn and refusing to concede to either. It's great. It's just great.
How's it going, everybody? Tony here from Kapowcast, bringing you another recap of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Today we are talking about episode 2, entitled The Star-Spangled Man. Is that what that was? I forget what the episode.
Correct.
The Star-Spangled Man. Joining me again is my sister Christy. Soon enough, won't be so far away.
Yeah, like it or not, I'm coming back to Michigan. You better deal with it.
She's coming back, and she's gonna make her own Red Wing jersey with Red Wing from the show.
Truth. We're gonna make it happen. I'm gonna hand embroider it.
Oh, whoa! All right, that's all you. But as I promised last week, you can head over to our Teespring and grab your Team Sam and Team Bucky shirts while supplies last. Links in the description below. And of course, because this is YouTube, Facebook, whatever you're watching this on, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications so you're notified every time that we drop a new video. And now on to the top 5 moments of episode 2. Number 1, we got to meet the new Cap right here at the beginning, which personally, when it's going through this scene, we meet up with John Walker, and he's in the locker room of his alma mater, his high school. Is that considered an alma mater? Like, is that the right term?
I believe so.
Anyways, he's in there reminiscing, and he's about to go out for a little parade session on the football field and stuff. And when he's talking to, I don't know if it's his girlfriend or his wife, and then again with his like best friend / partner. Personally, I was like, this guy seems like he wants to do some good. He seems like a pretty stand-up cat. We find out different later on in the episode, kind of. It's just, I don't know, it's weird. But like, he had me fooled at the beginning. I was like, this guy, like, he seems like he wants to live up to the name. He wants to do good by the Captain America standpoint. Did he get you, or was it just me?
For a split second, I thought maybe I would like him. That did not last very long.
Yeah, no, it definitely did not last long. That's 100% true. Like, I don't even think it lasted half of the episode for me. Obviously, we've all met those people that, like, when you first meet them, they have a nice storefront. You're like, hey, I think I can get along with this guy. Like, he seems like a pretty all right cat. And then they start to show you the inventory, you know, the back of the store kind of thing. And you're like, whoa. This is not what I thought you were about at all. Your beginning story sounded way different to me. And now when you pull back the curtain, I'm not liking what I'm seeing. And that's exactly how U.S. Agent John Walker kind of struck me. By the way, side note, John Walker, played by Channing Tatum's BFF from 22 Jump Street, if you remember him.
That's where he's from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
he looks familiar. I did not care enough, and I was still mad enough about... off-brand Cap that I did not research him at all.
He posted, I think on his Twitter, that he's very excited for the world to hate him, and just don't be too harsh, please. And I was like, he's a good sport. I'm glad he's being a good sport, because like you stepped into a role that like 99% of people are gonna go, no, you're not Steve Rogers. You're not my Captain America. And like, you're gonna follow it through with grace, and bravo for you, sure. Like, I applaud you for doing that, because not just anybody can take that kind of ridicule.
That's exactly right. But yeah, I gave him about 10 seconds, and that's about all he got for me. Still not a fan. Still not a fan of off-brand Cap.
I mean, because he goes into the same spiel about like not wanting to do like the press stuff. He just wants to go out and he wants to do the job and everything. And it's very similar to like what Steve was saying in the first Captain America. So it's just like, well, he seems to have like the same grasp, the same deal that like, Steve had, the same underlying tone. But then we find out later that he's more of a yes man, and he's a rule follower, and you give him an order, he's going to follow it through kind of thing, where Steve didn't have that. He just had the epitome of like being a good human being and using his power to do that and help others that maybe weren't able to make that kind of thing happen for them. That was a big thing. Like as soon as that kind of turned its ugly head with that character, I was just like, oh God, I hate you. I despise you.
Yeah, and we find out that they came about this Captain America the opposite way of the original Captain America, and they took the strongest, most capable person and threw them in this role. So he already knew power. He knew being at the top. He doesn't know anything else. Yep. Steve Rogers was quite the opposite. So that's where they went wrong, and I stand by not liking Waters.
Okay. Moving on to our number 2 moment, Bucky and Falcon's reunion. This was something that I was waiting for all through episode 1 and into episode 2, and thank God they really didn't make me wait any longer, because we get to see the dynamic that I was hoping for from those two, and it's totally the buddy cop movie aspect, and I was just like, yes, I am so happy that this has that attitude of the bickering of like the two characters that are forced to work together, almost like they're bickering siblings, and it was, gosh darn it, their chemistry on screen is just perfection. Like their trade-offs and their back and forth, it feels so natural that it's disgusting. Like I'm just like, you guys haven't worked together.
It's beautiful. And my initial reaction was just, baby, the boys are back. They're back, man. I'm so excited.
I was totally like, I feel like I'm watching.
It's so good.
I feel like I'm watching a new age Lethal Weapon. And it's
there we go.
Mel Gibson and Danny Glover just going back and forth. Like
if we ever reboot that,
I'm hoping somewhere in this series,
I'm gonna vote for Sebastian.
I'm hoping somewhere in this series that Falcon drops a "I'm getting too old for this shit" line, like just as a homage.
If we get it, then
just as an old. Actually, you know what? Backtrack. I think Bucky should actually say it, because it would make more sense for Bucky to say it, and I think it would probably punch home more. What did you think of this?
Yeah. I mean, Sam, it was beautiful. I, just like you, was just waiting. I was like, all right, it's Falcon and Winter Soldier, and so far they have lived very separate lives, and I need my boys to get back together because they're just so great together. I mean, it's a very toxic relationship, but it's entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
They didn't make us wait very long, and he just showed up like he likes to do.
Yeah.
He just showed up, and he was like, hey, I'm going to need you to explain this to me.
Right.
Because it's not okay.
Exactly. And, Bucky is not happy about the shield being handed over. He's very, very irate about it. It's a calm irate, which is, once again, very scary, that he can be just so mad about this.
That's Bucky's
and he's
go-to.
Yeah, he's just flatline. He's just, why did you hand over the shield? And Sam actually...
Yeah, that's the assassin training.
Maybe. Sam seems a little bit more kind of like set in his ways. Like I think I might have been wrong. Maybe Sam did actually willingly hand over the shield, thinking that he was doing the right thing. I also kind of personally think that it was more the factor of like he just didn't feel like he could fill fill the spot. And I thought that Bucky was jealous of Sam. I thought that Bucky was more like, I should be the next Captain America. I fill the requirements better than you. I'm a super soldier, blah blah blah. But I was wrong about that too. Like, Bucky has other issues that he's dealing with and he's coping with, and we'll get more on that later. But the reunion is almost cut short because Falcon's on his way out the door on a mission to go after our good new friends, the Flag Smashers, which they really should look into maybe doing a rebrand, because that's not a great name. It doesn't roll off the tongue. So Bucky, being Bucky and being the guy that he is, decides, you know what? No, I'm going on this mission with you. Whether you like it or not, I'm heading out. And I'm like, you know what? I don't know who to like more. I don't know if I'm Falcon. I don't know if I'm Winter Soldier. They end up going to it was like a warehouse or something where they find him. And we get our first look that there's not just one super-powered individual in this group, but it seems that the whole freaking group is that of, I'll just come out and say it, super soldier-powered individuals. And
yeah, we got a gaggle of super soldiers.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that whole one-time thing with Steve is a complete bullshit lie, because it seems that this super soldier answer is more readily available than we thought originally, whether it be from like the Kree blood that we see Winter Soldier take in Civil War from Howard in the suitcase from his car before he or if they actually reproduced the formula that created Steve Rogers into Captain America. So the back and forth in the factory or the warehouse, whatever they're in, holy crap. Like, I thought the beginning where they first meet up was good, and then it just like went up a whole nother level. Like the bickering of like, my way's better, your way's better. I'm doing things this way, you're doing things that way. I was like, I'm going to love this show so much because of this aspect alone.
It's going to be so good.
And,
it's like watching your parents trying to do the same task. That's exactly what it is. Like, they're both just critiquing the crap out of each other and wanting to do things their way. And being so stubborn and refusing to concede to either. It's great. It's just great.
Well, yeah, that is totally the dynamic there. You nailed that on the head for sure. And I can't wait to sit down with Janelle on the next episode and say, so who are you, Bucky or Sam? Because we fit this dynamic. Sam's more of that like edgier, I have knowledge where you don't kind of thing. Where Bucky's just like, I want to help. Like, I can't sit on the couch anymore. Like, I need to get back in here. It's the only way that I can like take my mind off of like all the shit that I did.
Yeah, he's mostly action with minimal strategy.
Yes, and that's my favorite character, the Leroy Jenkins of the group, just running in, not thinking out anything first, just Leroy Jenkins.
That's correct. Just jumping in, which is very funny because in their initial flight out to Munich, that's exactly what Sam's doing, or at least playing at. Yeah. He's like, I don't have a plan. I'm just going, and you're not invited. So, yeah, Bucky gets a taste of his own medicine.
Uh-huh. Yep, it was good. So they decide they're gonna tail these guys, see where they're going, which leads us to our number 3 moment, which we're calling Road Rage. We get a stellar, action-packed fight scene on top of 2 semi-trucks filled with vaccines that these super soldier Antifa type people have stolen, and our heroes don't do too well. They're a little rusty in the fight sequence. I don't know if it was the 5 years off that they both had or what exactly was going on, but oh boy, they got their asses handed to them.
Yeah, they did. Maybe Sam was thrown off from Bucky showing up, and Bucky was just out of practice.
Yeah.
I don't know, but they both went in thinking they were going to get it, and we're going to need to pour one out for our boy Red Wing because
oh, I know.
Guys, he's gone.
That
maybe
rude,
maybe he'll come back. I don't.
That rude 4'11" little girl just knee dropped Red Wing.
Just because you're short doesn't mean you're always angry, okay? Speaking from my 5'1" frame. It's not true.
She just grabs it and just breaks it over her knee like yesterday's toy. It was obnoxious. I said, I hate you, small little lady. I hate you so much right now. I'm hoping that he somehow gets...
Second least favorite character in this series so far.
What was that?
It's my second least favorite character in the series so far. I'll give you a guess at what number one is.
There's no way that he's going through the rest of this series without like Red Wing 2.0.
You can't.
No.
And we found out he's government, and Red Wing was now government property. So maybe Sam's gonna build a rogue Red Wing. That they can't track.
I have a hunch.
Like go side agent.
I have a hunch that Sam won't, but I think his new buddy Torres, he's gonna build a new Red Wing. Because he's a little tech savvy, and he's really interested when Sam was working on it on the table in that little bodega type setting in the first episode. So I'm hoping that happens because I
think you're onto something there. Yeah.
I like that kind of like a rookie based character, and I would like for him to be a little bit more incorporated in with what Sam's doing and the work he's doing. But mid fight our buddies they're not doing too well in it, and who decides they're gonna show up but Kmart Cap and his partner, which is named Battlestar. What did you
get me? I had the same reaction as Bucky.
Did you?
I'd rather walk.
Right.
Let me out
Stop
of this.
the car. Did you just decide let's drop the Galactica and just keep Battlestar, and that's a good code name. That's a badass code name, bro. Badass code name, bro. Battlestar. And you have a star on your shield. That's perfect.
I'd say the one thing that they need to work on with these Marvel series is the naming of things. We've got the Blip and Battlestar.
Yeah.
And Flag Smashers.
Yeah. Flag Smashers and Battlestar.
Workshop those a little more.
I'm totally with you on I'm not a fan of either of those names. I do enjoy it being called the Blip though, because it's such a monumental thing that happened. It was earth shattering, and it has this goofy freaking name like the Blip. not the Snapping, not Days of Future Past, none of that crap. The Blip. A high schooler was sitting in on a round table at the government and just said it, and they're like, yeah, that's good, we'll call it that. That'll be the code name for it.
Yeah, we'll go with it.
But yeah, so those two jack-offs, they show up acting like the new kids on the block at work that are full of spunk, and oh, this is so cool, I'm just happy to be here. And I'm just sitting there as I don't know if I think it's the old age and it's kicking in, where I'm just like, goddamn kids and you stupid positive attitudes. And I'm just like, you're so annoying. You're so smug and you're so disgusting. And you were literally standing in front of two of probably the most stand-up Avengers, and you're acting like you've been doing this for years. Who are you? Who are you, and who do you think you are? Because you ain't crap, kid. Take a seat. I'm done with it. I'm done with them. Annoying.
Done. I'm done with this.
Done with it.
Yeah. It's very, and I think that's why he's number one on my list of least liked characters so far, is because he just shows up thinking that he has all the answers and he has the perfect way to do things and it's perfect and he thinks he's like God's gift to Earth when it's not true. I mean, shoot, he let all the people get away anyway.
I know,
so,
right? And he got
nothing.
Thrown, he got thrown into a car. He got thrown into a car too.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
Also, let's talk about how much financial damage the Avengers and their cohorts do when they show up anywhere.
So
there's got to be a government budget just for them.
Okay, so before Endgame, Tony Stark, I'm assuming, probably footed the bill for most of the destruction because he's the billionaire of the group. Who's fronting that bill now? Like, is there an actual government implemented budget for like superhero damage? Because those poor kids in that escort, it's done. Windshield's gone, hood's dented up, engine block's probably cracked,
and nothing. That boy's totaled.
Yeah, it was totaled. We get through our heavy hitter of a action sequence, and we kind of get some more trade off between the new Cap and Sam and Bucky, and you're really getting that sense of the feeling that Sam and Bucky they want nothing to do with this guy, and they're trying to be nice about it. Well, Bucky's not so much, but like Sam's trying to be respectful about it, but you can totally tell like they're just like, dude, do you have any idea like the situation that you're putting yourself in right now? Like, we were Steve's best friends and you're standing here in front of us holding a shield, dressed like him, and like trying to replace him, even though you're saying you don't want to replace him, but you do. You want the Steve Rogers life. Oh God, I see his face and I just start to rage inside of myself because it's just like, that douchebag doesn't deserve to carry that shield. He does not deserve it, and it makes me so angry. Which he's doing his job. Yeah, he's doing his job beautifully. Bucky and Sam, they leave that whole ordeal, and they're flying back, and Bucky pretty much tells Sam, "Hey, I got somebody you should meet," and they end up going to a little like kind of, I would say, we'll say East Side Detroit looking area. If you're from the area,
it's Baltimore. You say Baltimore.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was Baltimore, wasn't it?
It's Baltimore. Yeah. It's classic Baltimore.
Where we get into a really even more awkward situation. Bucky takes Sam to meet another super soldier, apparently. Which, Jesus Christ, like, there's a lot of super soldiers. Who he got into it. Was it Vietnam? I don't remember what war he said he got into it with him. But he went head to head with this other Captain America specimen, and I don't know why he decided it was a good idea to take Sam there. It didn't really play out for them, but
so I think here's my theory around the whole thing. So this secret super soldier, Isaiah, we find out that Bucky ran into him before. And then we find out that this super soldier was arrested, had experiments performed on him, and had his blood drawn. That stuck in my head. Maybe that was pulled by U.S. government, whatever government, and that is where all these super soldiers are coming from. They've pulled out of his DNA from his blood the information that they need to replicate the super soldier serum.
That is a really good theory. That's another
so
very
maybe that's
solid
why
theory.
we've been introduced.
Yeah, because like,
so we'll see. But
the rule of film is that there's never a shot that doesn't mean something. Unless you're watching a Zack Snyder film, then there's a bunch of shots that don't mean shit. He just shot him because it looked
4
cool.
hours.
4 hours of it. If you haven't checked that out, we'll link it right up there. But yeah, so like they introduced this character. The whole scenario is very short-lived, very high tension. Like he's saying, he's telling Bucky, and he's having this like kind of emotional riff that, even your people weren't done with me yet. Later we find out he's actually talking about Hydra. It's not a race thing. And I was like, oh, that makes a little bit more sense. Like I could see it going both ways, but he was talking about Hydra. And Sam, dude, they leave the house and Sam gets hot. Like he's mad that nobody has brought this guy up before. And he's going off, and then all of a sudden, dude, I think you were wrong, man. I think Disney's going to really hit this whole race thing like super hard through this whole series, because we get a cop pulling up on Sam and Bucky, and those two cops totally racially profiled Sam and like was like, "Sir, is this guy bothering you?" And I'm like, "Oh, hell no. You are not doing this to
Yeah, I got real mad.
It was ridiculous.
Real mad instantaneously.
And then, of course, as soon as
Sam of all people, and then they're like, wait, no, wait, hold on, guy, it's Sam. Sorry.
You the Falcon?
Ridiculous. One, why did you make that assumption? Bucky was yelling too. All right.
Yeah.
Both getting aggressive, and you're gonna go after Sam.
And Bucky has a metal arm. Who's more threatening, a guy with a metal arm or? Well, I guess, to them, it was the other one. But Bucky
There's
ends
a
up...
whole, and this is like a 45-minute tangent podcast.
I know.
We could go on that one, but...
it's very true. I think we both will just completely lose track. But ends up, at the end of this whole ordeal, the polite cops turn to Bucky and say, "There's a warrant out for your arrest. You skipped your therapy session. It's basically like not checking in with your parole officer." And Bucky, which by the way, they handcuff the Winter Soldier, and I couldn't help but chuckle at the fact that they handcuffed him. Like,
how the turntables!
So here's the thing:
the white guy got arrested.
I know, and Bucky allows them to handcuff them when knowingly everybody knows Bucky could just break those handcuffs in 2 seconds. But like that's how stand up of a dude Bucky Barnes is like, he's like, okay, you know what? This is an illusion of safety for you. Handcuff me. That's fine. And he gets in, and which takes us to our number 4 moment. And I think I'm going to star this as my favorite moment is couples therapy with Sam and Bucky. And holy crap. Oh, if that dynamic just couldn't get any better. We have a therapy session that is forced upon him by Bucky's therapist, which, by the way, I would pay that lady to be my therapist any day, because the non-passive aggressive and kind of like military background where she just yells at Bucky and stuff is fantastic. Like, because so many times the therapist is like, "So how did that make you feel?" And she's just like, "Cut your bullshit. Like, I know, you be straight with me." And it's just like, if I needed a therapist, I'm pretty sure you'd be the lady. Like, yeah, you're the one that I need is what I'm trying to say. But God, the back and forth in this scene again was just, it had me laughing the whole time. Even on my second watch, I still think I missed things in this scene because I was continuously just laughing at the back and forth.
I definitely did. This is a scene that I rewound and watched a few times, because the bit that Bucky goes on, his whole like tirade of why he's so mad at Sam and going into that, and the character, and why, Steve chose Sam to take up the mantle and all this other stuff, and how, it just wrenches my heart out every time, as it's so sad because you see Bucky just like letting loose.
Yeah.
And finally being like, "Listen, I understand. Like, I'm not the guy. Steve knew that. You're the guy, and you just threw it away. What are you doing?"
Yeah.
So, yeah, it gets me.
It was literally from like moment 1 of that tirade of his to the end, my heart felt like it was just being twisted, because like, I don't know. Like, I don't know on what level. I can't explain it currently, but I felt that Like, I was like, man, like, he is sitting across from the guy that, like, Steve chose him. His best friend chose him to take up the mantle. And then this dude just hands it over because he doesn't want it. And I'm just sitting there and going, man, Bucky's so mad. But then it kind of just like, it's going. And then it just takes this sharp left. And it's not about the shield at all. He says, what if Steve was wrong about you? What if you weren't the person to take the mantle up? And does that mean Steve was wrong about me? Am I not a good person anymore? Like, he doesn't go that far. Like, I'm ad-libbing here. And I'm just like, oh no, like, this is nothing about the shield. This is about your own redemption and you not thinking you're capable of it. No, Bucky.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I was just so heart-wrenched.
With Bucky's imposter syndrome sometimes.
Yeah, no, I was so heart-wrenched through that whole thing. Like, it's just, there was this tension on the main clavicle of my heart. And I was like, dude, ouch. Like, I feel for you, man. Like, I don't know how you hit this button, but there's something inside me that I'm just like, I feel for your position right now. And I can't figure, I'm going to have to do some soul searching after we get done here.
Yeah, maybe you can look up militarized therapist in your area after this and get going on that therapy journey, since it seems to be a reoccurring theme in this series.
I know. Listen, Doc, I need you to watch this scene, and then we need to figure out why I relate so hard to it.
Exactly. Just play it and be like, here's my thoughts of the last week. Just play that, and then I'm
here's
sure
my
they'll gain a
recap
lot out of it.
We get the therapy, and it doesn't end well. It seems like Sam really kind of cuts it short. Basically says, you know what? Let's go out here. Let's do what we need to do, and then we can part ways. I don't ever want to see you again. And I'm just like, I think you're lying. But they end up leaving the room, and Bucky, dude, he turns to the therapist, and he's like, what was rule 2 again? And she tells him, don't hurt anybody. And it looked like the look on his face says, yep, that rule's gone. That's not going to happen. And I'm like, and I was like, I don't know where this is going. If it's going to take Bucky down like a really dark road where he like lets the Winter Soldier ride again. But I don't know, man. I'm worried about Bucky. Like, I'm worried really badly about Bucky.
Yeah. I mean, see, I thought it was a twofold thing. I said, oh no, Bucky's going to hurt some people. But then I also said, wait, Bucky just hurt himself in that therapy session.
Oh, yeah.
And it reopened the wound of my heart all over again.
Yeah. I have a feeling that I'm going to be feeling a lot for Bucky. That dude has been through the trenches, and it's just one of those things like I never even thought about it. Moving on to moment number 5 in the episode, which we are calling Catching a Late Flight. Basically, we see our friendly neighborhood activists loading up a small-bodied aircraft with the vaccines in which they took. And we find out a little bit earlier that there is somebody that's not very happy with their activities, so much so that he said that he was going to kill them. And we end up seeing them start to kind of freak out almost immediately as the scene hits in, and says that somebody called the power broker is on their way and they need to get out of there right away. Now, the power broker, when I first heard it, I was like, it's probably Zemo. Like, I'm 100% Zemo. And one of the guys ends up staying back. This dude, he's like, I'll hold him back. You held him back for like a whole 5 seconds. Like, I don't even know how.
Yeah, there's just this like an envoy of vehicles who you fully know are loaded with semi-automatic rifles and stuff.
I would go
he's like,
automatic.
Yeah, I got
auto.
him. Even though you have a super soldier serum, you're not bulletproof, my dude. All right.
Not even Quicksilver was bulletproof.
Come on now.
No, And we really don't get anything out of this other than the factor that there's some guy called the Power Broker. Anybody who like knows half a wit about this, like I'm assuming that you would think it would be Zemo. So they end up getting out of there, except for the one guy. He's dead now. He just got riddled with bullets. Knocked over a lamppost. It wasn't anything super exciting. Then we check back in as Bucky and Sam are leaving the police department and meet up with our lovely pal John Walker, U.S. Agent, New Cap, whatever you want to call him, and he is being overly snarky because he's the reason that Bucky got out of jail, and he made sure to flaunt that, and then he started to act like he was their commanding officer. And that scene, I wanted to punch that guy straight in the face. And they start exchanging information back and forth outside of the police department about the situation with the Flag Smashers and all that stuff. And he says something about, it would be, a good idea to work together. And I'm like, I don't really see where he's wrong on that. And Bucky's like, nope, nuh-uh, not working with you. I don't like you. And Sam, being more the level-headed of the two, he's like, yeah, well, it's, he's kind of right. He has information, blah, blah, blah. But we're free agents. You have, government ties, which means you have rules that you have to follow. We're a little bit more loosey-goosey. So I think it wouldn't be very, very smart to be working with you. And then this douche, this twat, has to have the final word. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. And he says, well, one more thing. Stay out of my way. And I'm like, oh, I want Bucky to rip your arm off so bad that I'm going to laugh
so
when
badly.
It happens. Oh.
As if he would even know about any of this situation if it weren't for Sam or Bucky.
Right.
Because they trapped them. I hate him.
I hate him.
I hate him.
I hate him. I hate him so much.
Ugh.
He's such a... Ugh. Ow.
Blah. Yeah, no.
No, he's
the worst.
He is snarky as all. Like, he's not even a good snarky. He's not that fun, witty snarky that, like, you'd be like, oh, that's just that guy. He's just, kidding around.
He's smug.
With everything that was happening towards the end of the thing, real quick, I feel that the Flag Smashers are going to be more of like a misunderstood hero where, like, they're using their powers for good, because obviously they're taking these vaccines to people that, like, weren't part of the blip, but because the government is prioritizing people that have come back from the blip, these people are forgotten about. So I feel like it's that weird gray area where, like, they're not good, but they're not bad. They're more of the good side of the coin. Have you given that any thought or no?
Maybe. I'm kind of waiting to see a little bit more information about what they are taking. Is it a vaccine? Is it additional super soldiers? Like, what exactly are the transports?
Yeah. That's...
And if it is a vaccine, because their whole message is like, it's kind of communism, right? It's, we got to dismantle the system so that we can spread out the resources to all the people.
Right.
What is it?
Whoa.
What is their slogan? They said it a million times and I keep forgetting it. Whatever it is, it's one world, one people. Is that what it is?
I think it was something like that. They chanted it like twice and we still can't remember it. Obviously, it's not catchy enough.
It smells a little bit of communism. Yeah, a little bit of communism, maybe a little bit of fascism. I'm not a super fan of what they're trying to do, but I get the motivation for it. People, should have equal access to stuff.
Yeah.
Cool, maybe. We'll see how it goes. Right now, I'm skeptical. We'll see.
Uh-huh. And to reach the end of this episode, Bucky and Sam, they're walking away, and he brings up you know, how what's his face? The super soldier guy they went to go see.
Isaiah?
Isaiah. Why do I keep saying Ezra?
Every time.
Every time.
I don't know. You're making it more complicated than it is.
I know. Like I'm stuck in Thor world, I think. Like it feels like a Thor name.
Apparently.
And so they're talking about that whole incident, and he brings up the factor you said you people, and Sam thinks he's about to go, you know, racial with it. And he goes, no, like he's talking about Hydra. Hydra used to be my people. He goes, so we need to go talk to somebody. And like sitting there being engulfed in the show, at first I go, who we gonna talk to? You gonna go to the Soul Stone? Talk to Red Skull? Who we talking to? And then of course, like Sam points out the obvious that wasn't so obvious to me at that moment was, so we're gonna go talk to Zemo. Like, you think this is a good idea? You want to do this? And Bucky's like, no, I don't want to do it, but he knows all of Hydra's secrets, so maybe we should. And we get an audio transition of a Requiem playing, and I don't think there was any better way to like bring Zemo into the fold of things other than just this Requiem and this pan shot down a hallway of a penitentiary, and you just see Zemo with like one key light, not even keyed on him, just slightly, just giving you that silhouette of him, and he's sitting there, and it's almost like he senses it because he looks up, and then boom, into the episode. And it's been a while. When the episode ended, I went, what? No, we were just getting there.
That's, like, you know, it's the downside to these series. It feels like, you know, they finally just start, like, you just start getting into it. They get to a really, really good point in the storyline, and you're like, I am ready for another hour of this. Let's go full on Marvel film.
Yep.
And they cut it off at 40 minutes, and you just want to flip a table. They're good. They get you. They want you to come back. They want you to subscribe to Disney Plus, and they want you to come back every week. You can't binge it. They got me.
Moving on to the episode MVP. Now, before we started, I said I wasn't going to tell you because I want your full reaction. This episode 2 MVP is John Walker, U.S. Agent Kmart Cap. And why? Because that dude, for me, stole the episode because I hated him so unbelievably much. And he hasn't even done anything huge. It's just his personality. And that is your episode 2 MVP.
All right. I'm going to recommend a follow-up MVP as a runner-up. You may say, my MVP is Bucky's tearaway sleeve. Let's talk about that for a second. MVP runner-up. The most beautiful fashion choice of the ages. The tearaway Winter Soldier sleeve.
The perfect tearaway sleeve. Like, no one could have tore that more perfect.
Pants.
But that'll do it for our episode 2 recap. Christy, is there anything else you want to add? Did I skip anything that maybe you wanted to talk about?
No, we hit it all.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you guys, buckle up, baby. Zemo's back.
I know. I'm so excited to see what we get with Zemo in the follow-up episodes. That guy can read an amazing monologue. I can't remember his name right now, but his reading of monologues is so immensely amazing. Like Inglourious Bastards, Civil War. Every time that dude delivers something, it's just like everybody listens because he's, I don't know, he has some weird superpower himself. I think that'll do it for this recap. Thank you guys out there in TV land for watching. If you haven't yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell for notifications, all that good stuff. Make sure to follow us on social media. Hurry up, go get your Team Sam and Team Bucky shirts over at our Teespring. Links in the description below. And until next week, I'll see you guys later. Christy, thank you for joining me once again. Hopefully I can hook you for episode 3.
No problem. I'll see you guys later.
Bye-bye.